Good morning. We are on our way to the train station to make our way to Union Station because today is Dapper Day LA. I have my family with me. It is my children's first time on the train, and we are going to Olvera Street. And I think this is in a museum. I've never been to the place in which we're going to for Dapper Day, but this is exciting. So I'm going to start my vlog here. So here we are at the train station waiting for our train to arrive. It was actually really exciting for me and my girls. Like, I just like introducing my girls to new things, and they have never been on the train. So that was super fun for us. And of course, I brought some knitting to do some train knitting. I had actually started this sock just so that I can knit on the train. You could barely see, but it focuses. Here we are on the train. And then we arrived to Union Station, which, if you haven't been to Union Station, I know it can be hectic because it's a train station and it's literally the port, like where everything drops off. But it really is architecturally beautiful. I love the ceilings, the chandeliers. I never get enough of it when I'm there. The old furnishings that are so original and antique. They had this really cool exhibit, which was like the animals that are native to California. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm Californian born and raised. I absolutely love to hike and I love wildlife. This was fun for me to just walk around, but I ended up bringing my girls over here to look around because I do enjoy taking them on hikes, and it's just really pretty. And I think that this is a great exhibit to have at the train station because, like I said, it's literally the drop off for people that are coming from all over the place, and they get to see what is so beautiful about California without actually venturing into it, but hopefully inspiring them to venture into California and our wildlife. And it's more than just Hollywood, you guys. It's so beautiful, and the nature here is so beautiful. We have beautiful hikes, and we have the best weather in the United States. I'm just gonna brag because you guys know I love where I live, but it's so beautiful. And I really do love the people in California, even though people, there's something to be said about everywhere. Then we made our way, literally across the street is Olvera Street. So you cross Alameda, or you cross to Alameda, and there's beautiful exhibit of art, structures, buildings, statues. I was really excited by all of this. I've been coming here since I was a little kid. All of my children were baptized at La Placita, so we, usually try to come and enjoy, a day out every once in a while. This is La Placita where my kids were baptized, and they were having baptisms that day. I loved this where people wanted to take pictures of my daughter and her outfits. Here's one of the little shopping areas at Dapper Day. I loved how it was outdoors. It did actually sprinkle that day, which is weird. It was overcast, but nice for walking. The shopping area, I would say, was very large. Here we are waiting to take our pictures. I just like to look at the buildings in LA. They're so old and beautiful. I love architecture when it looks like this. Like, it's so gorgeous. Here we are getting our tintype developed. It is so funny because we wanted it to look like vintage travelers, And so we wore our sunglasses, and my teenager did not wear sunglasses. She actually blinked in this one. I think this is the first time she ever blinked. It was okay, though, because she was like, well, it's more realistic. He was so willing to do the picture over again. But she was like, no, this is like what would have happened. You don't get a second chance. Let's roll with it. And I love that. Like, she had the perfect attitude for it. And it's not like she looked possessed or anything, which was the goal. That she was like, as long as I don't look possessed. Okay, welcome back from my vlog, which was supposed to be about Dapper Day LA in Olvera Street, and it was at the Pico House, and it was very, very beautiful. If you hear puppies, by the way, my dog had puppies, and I talked about this. It's kind of why I'm not sewing, because they all live in my dining room, which is also where my sewing machine lives. So sadly, I am run up with pups until I think I have like 4 weeks left before they can find some forever homes. Do you hear that? I don't know. I'm hoping you don't hear that. But I have like the haul, and then I have the tea. So I will go over what I picked up, or what someone in my family may have picked up at Dapper Day LA. First, starting with, I'll just get through what my husband, partner, boyfriend, whatever we want to call him, bought a shirt from Swanky's. It's a button up. And it's kind of funny because he always says that he doesn't have to buy shirts because I'll make him shirts. But he tried this on and he was like, I like the way it looked on me. And so I bought it. And I was like, you know what? You rarely ever do that. So I'm glad you did do that. P.S. Lighting in here is going to be kind of crazy because the lighting is weird in my house right now. I'm trying to film this before a company comes over. So we're working with what we got. I apologize if I'm trying to find harmony in this. But, yes. Okay. Next, which I have talked about her before because I have bought a hairnet from her before and I used it at Viva. But Jenny Dame does it. She does wearable art. That's what it is. Wearable art by Jenny Dame. Okay, so I wanted to make sure because I think last time I only tagged her regular Instagram. Again, sorry if you hear puppies. But this is her business Instagram. So I bought a 22-inch blonde with pearls. I saw her posting pearls and I was like, I need pearls. I need them. So I got this one, and hopefully I think it's a little bit longer than the last one I bought from her because the last one I used to like really make my hair look short. So I can't wait to use this. I don't know when, but I can't wait to use this. Then this is so cute, like a little easel for my tintype. Oh God. From Jason Mads. I always go and get my tintype. And this was no exception. Hold on. Sorry. I am trying to wrangle toddlers and puppies, which is like the same thing. I feel like they're the identical thing. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you my tintype, but I absolutely love it because it looks like 1940s vacationers. Like, oh my God. So I'm hoping against all odds because there's so much lighting going on. Like, okay, it's not gonna work, but this is my tintype. Ooh, kind of like right there. This is my tintype, and I always go to Jason Mads no matter what. We're there. He knows me and my family. I've been going to him since it was just me and Esmeralda as a family. So, it's my wall. I have a wall of tintypes, and it's just all of my little Dapper Day adventures with my family. And I honestly like love these. I don't care how many I ever have of these from him because like I don't ever want to not have one. They hold my memories, but they look like memories, if that makes sense to you. I'm like very into pictures. I love photography and I love physical pictures. Like I antique stores and thrift stores, I love to go through pictures, and it's just like those were someone's memories, and the fact that they're in an antique store and a thrift store, it just like makes me so sad. But anyway, these are my memories. And then I went and visited one of my friends, Darla, had a booth, and she had like a little $5 bin, and I got this. It is vintage because it's so old now. I feel that makes me feel old, but it is a Victoria's Secret like dressing gown, and I have these, right? I love these things, but I just gave one to my daughter because it doesn't really fit well. It was a leopard print one, and I really wanted it to fit well, but it does not, and it fits her little body perfectly. So I gave her that, and then when I saw this, I was like, I really love these colors. It actually reminds me of my best friend because she loves these colors too, and she has a tattoo that has similar colors to this. But yeah, it's long and it's perfect for like in the mornings when I'm putting on makeup or something. I love these things. And then I had to get this. I haven't tried it on, but I have a feeling it'll fit. It's a Rosemary Reed bathing suit. And you guys already know that I'm like really, I'm not like trying to expand my vintage bathing suit collection, but I've been wanting to find like cute ones. And I feel like I love the drop down ivy leaves and the blue in this. So I can't wait to try that one on and wear it by the poolside. That's it. That's my haul. Okay. I'm a mess this morning, but I'm trying. So that's everything that I bought at Dapper Day and everything that we did. Now let me get to the tea of what happened, because we took the train all the way out to Union Station from where I am, and it was fine on the way out. We got there in an hour, 10 minutes. It was perfect. Then when we went to get back, we were taking the 438 train back, and we heard that someone got hit by the train in Pomona, Claremont area. So our train line was canceled, which helped Kayla to fully freak out because we had no other way. Like, I had paid for these SoCal day passes. I didn't have a car. We have a baby, so we would need a car seat, you know, and we like totally didn't think about it at first. We got an Uber, we ordered an Uber, and then we were like, we didn't order a car seat Uber. So we canceled that, and then we were like, okay, well, it's from LA to where we were, it was gonna cost a lot of money. And so the train did give us vouchers, but it was just like we were frazzled. And so we had to take like a minute. We had to take a time out, and I cried, and my kids were frustrated. Well, like my toddler, I think like toddlers are kind of resilient. They don't like realize something's going on. But my teenager was like, I am never doing this again. We are never taking public transportation again. She's like, we do not live in New York. And I was like, but this is like the fun of it. Like, honestly, that was not the fun of it. Getting your train canceled and then not really knowing when you were going to end up home or how you were going to end up home. That was so stressful. Like I would say me and my partner were very stressed about all of that. So, yeah, we had to like take a time out, and I cried by myself silently. I did not cry. Like, I was so frustrated. And then I finally like was like, okay, I'm going to go and talk to some people, figure out what to do. So what we ended up taking was the A line was still running to Pomona, and that's as far as the tracks was working. And so, and it wasn't the train. So that we had to take like the metro. I'm not even sure like what the differences are between these things, but it is, once you get in, you know the differences, because the A line stops at, like, it's kind of like a bus. It stops at every stop, and then it's really quick. Get on, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off. Where the train is like kind of like a straight shot, and it's very calm. So we took the A-line back. The guy told me that my day pass would work for the whole thing, and I don't think it did, because I couldn't figure out how to get it to scan. But we made it back to Pomona, as far as Pomona, and luckily my partner's friend saved our butts. He has a daughter the same age as our daughter, and he met us in Pomona and took me to my vehicle where we were parked, which wasn't in Pomona, but it was, you know, somewhere else. And we got home. We got home like 3.5 to 4 hours later than we thought we would. And most of those hours were spent stressing about how we were going to figure out how to get home, because they said like the 7:38 train would run, but they also didn't know. They're like, as far as we know, like we have to say it's going to be on schedule. So, but they don't know because the trains were actually shut down. So I still don't know if that train ran. I know a lot of the people were coming from the Dodger game. They ended up finding a bar and hanging out there for a while, but I had children and we were not hanging out in a bar. So we hung out in the courtyard for a while until we could figure out when we were going to take the A line. Then we took the A line to Pomona, and it was just a whole fiasco, guys. It was a whole fiasco that I don't plan on doing anytime soon. My partner is like, I think like that was insane. And I was like, it was a lesson in public transportation in LA. It was a lesson for the kids to learn. You see all kinds of characters on public transportation, and you learn a lot. And I don't even think it's bad. I think public transportation is really good. But when you're kind of used to it, like my kids are very used to being toted everywhere. I tote them everywhere. So it's like, I think they see, and I think they appreciate now, like, wow, having a vehicle is very
convenient. And it's not even that I didn't have a vehicle. I thought that the train would be a great experience for my kids. And it was an experience. I gave them that experience. As for like LA and downtown or Alvaro Street, it was amazing. I always love visiting Alvaro Street. All my kids were baptized at La Placita. So we visit there every time we're in Alvaro Street. We go there and I get holy water for my mom. You know, and I got it this time in an empty water bottle. So I kept telling like the kids and my partner, don't drink that water, it's holy water. And I kept joking, unless you want to be really good, unless you want to be really nice, which was funny to me, but it might not have been funny to them. They were like, you know. And then we had good eats. We went to the cantina that's actually facing the quarter. So I never ate there, but they had vegetarian options, and I ended up getting taquitos de papas, and they were so good. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not a fast eater. I'm a very slow eater, but I wanted to just like eat all of it. I wanted to tear it up, and I didn't care about the rice and beans because all I wanted was those taquitos, and they were bomb. The kids loved the food too. They had tacos at that place, and yeah, I would say 10 out of 10. I wish I could remember the name. And if I do look it up, I will put the name aquí. But yeah, and then we walked around Olvera Street and my toddler wanted a little stroller with a doll, which she does not need at all, but she was tired and cranky, and I did end up caving in and getting her the stroller with the doll. I will go back with my teenager because she really wanted to look at the leather and the leather shoes and stuff. So she had a pair of huaraches that she had walked through. So she wanted a new pair, and they had cute platform ones there. And then there's like a leather shoe guy in the like middle, and he has these like shoes that are so 1940s, and I want to go back and look at those. Plus there's like these really cute peasant tops that are embroidered that there was a version that I really liked and a version that she really liked. So if anything, maybe I would just go with her and go and pick us up a couple of things as far as that goes. But it's fun to go there and just see that stuff. Other than that, I think we had a great time shopping around in Dapper Day. I will say that venue was really, really pretty. It was kind of hot, but it was hot anyway. The day was hot. So, but it was a good day. It was a good walking day because the sun wasn't beating on you. It was kind of overcast. So for walking and everything, it was a great day. And I feel like we enjoyed the day until the tragic transportation problem, which is not Dapper Day's problem. That is my problem with Metro. And one of the guards even told me, he was like, or one of the security guards, yeah, he told me, he's like, Metro should actually be able to reimburse you. And I was like, I doubt that if we really, you know, but I can find out, but I doubt that. He's like, no, they should reimburse you because there was no way for you to get home on the train. And I was like, okay, I'll look into that, but I probably won't. But I will pay for public transportation because I think that it's important to have public transportation. You know what I mean? So anyways, that was my day. That was my vlog and my haul. I am sorry that I didn't vlog like a lot. It got really busy having a toddler and chasing her around, but it was beautiful. It was fun. And if you ever are in Southern California during a Dapper Day event, I would say even if it's a Dapper Day Disney, go because they're so fun and you make new friends all the time. I got to do a lot of talking, which I always do, but I make new friends every time. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Oh, and also I almost closed out. On the train, I was doing some knitting and I started this sock and I got that far in. I had little progress keepers this whole time and I got that far in, which for me is pretty good because I'm a pretty slow knitter and I think I did pretty good for a day of train riding and train knitting. So if you enjoyed this, please come back. I am hoping to do like a vintage bathing suit type of thing and then leading up to having my play suit or my beach pajamas finished. And then I don't know what else I'm going to do yet, but make sure you come back every week and just check me out. And I love you all. And I remember the ones that walked up to me and said that they're watching my YouTube channel, and just know that I love and appreciate you guys because I love doing these things. Like, I love that I am relatable and that I'm real, because I want to be the same person on screen that I am when you guys meet me in the streets, and that I feel comes through. So thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and saying hi to me when we're in the streets. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.